Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So, for today's video, guys, y'all can probably see by the title, I want to do a little bit, go into more, or I guess strive away a little bit from the Yu-Gi-Oh content, and bring out a little bit another one of my little passions here and there. I mean, if you've been part of my channel for a while, you've seen some of my earlier videos. I do have a lot of anime and manga content, so I thought I would bring y'all like a little review, I guess you could say, or well, for this video I'm gonna be reviewing the last few chapters of Solo Leveling. I do want to start kind of a little review for this series. Let's see. Eventually, I will do maybe not a chapter by chapter review. There's a lot of chapters, and it would take me a long time to catch up. But I do want to do maybe like a little overview of maybe like certain arcs. I'll just give a quick discussion about them. I don't want to make it like too crazy long, but yeah. So those are my plans with Solo Leveling. I might do that for a few other series as well. Probably try to get back onto my Kingdom chapter reviews, as well as I'm not really reading too much right now. Another one that I'm actually considering doing is also Unordinary, but both Solo Leveling and Unordinary are they are manhwas, not mangas, so they're Korean based. And one of the nice things about Koreans in their manhwas is that everything is in color, so that's pretty nice. Japanese tend to they're always black and white, but I'm not saying that's like oh my god, manhwas are better, but I think that's a nice touch that Korean manhwas have. But yeah, guys, I guess let's get into this quick discussion about Solo Leveling. So, I guess just a few weeks ago, or I guess more actually, more like 3 or 4 months ago, the season ended. So we had like 110 chapters or 109, something like that, and that was like the first big, I guess, arc that got concluded. I mean, technically there's other smaller arcs within these, but this is like the first, I guess this is when the author decided to take a break. Season 1 like ended, and we didn't get a chapter for like how long? It was at least 2 months, maybe 3. But I think just about a month ago, they started coming back again. We got the new chapter, and then now I believe we've had 4 chapters now since the new season started. So in these chapters, I mean, I'm going to go right now with this review with the assumption that you've read the other ones, just because I am starting like in the middle of the series, basically, not really starting from the very beginning. So we see Hunter Sung Jin Woo. In the season finale, he ended going into an S rank gate, and it was originally not an S gate. It was like I think a B gate, and somehow it turned into a red gate, which is an S rank. So he goes in there, he's like, okay, this feels like it's not a B rank, it feels like an S rank. And that's how it ends. And now on this, we start off the opening on the first chapter with Sung Jin Woo's assistant, I guess, or his companion they're gonna make their own guild. And by this point, it looks like Sung Jin Woo has already cleared the gate. He did already clear it, because the guy is like typing at people who are trolling or talking bad about Sung Jin Woo, his assistant. He's like deleting their account or something on the internet. And then you see Sung Jin Woo come in, and he has like all the spoils of war from the gate, like it's basically stuff that will let them get money so they can finance their guild. And then they have a discussion about like, okay, what are we gonna do, because we need a third person. And so they decide to they decided to have a discussion like, who could it be, and then the name of the guild and all that stuff. And it's just a little funny scene with like Sung Jin Woo comes up with a name, but it just sounds kind of cringe. And then while they're discussing that, someone knocks on the door, and then we find out that it's Hunter Cha. She's, of course, the S rank girl who apparently she's OP, but I mean, we haven't really got to see too much in depth of her abilities throughout the series. and she does have an interest in Sung Jin Woo just because we've seen before how she picks up like scents from people, and she's like all the like S rank hunters smell like bad to her, but Sung Jin Woo was like one of the ones that didn't, and she was curious about him basically. And then of course we see that scene that she found out that Sung Jin Woo was the one that saved her, and she decides she wants to join their guild. Like she decides she wants to join their guild, and then Sung Jin was kind of like suspicious about it, and you have he's kind of, you see like a lot of inner monologue, and so he decides instead to, well, before he's trying to like get her to reveal why, but of course her it's like more out of curiosity, and she has an interest in him, so, but of course she doesn't want to admit that, and she kind of comes up with a lie, so he's kind of like, what's going on, and then he decides to give her a test, and at first I feel like her maybe like Sung Jin Woo with doing a test out of nowhere. Maybe she felt like he didn't think, or maybe she felt that he didn't think she was worthy, so she felt kind of insulted. But she asked him like which summon will it be, because Sung Jin Woo says he's gonna test her by fighting one of his summons. So he says the strongest, which then we get into the next chapter and we see that it's not the strongest. He brings out Igris, which is the kind of like the night one. But I mean, it's still an S rank, an S rank shadow summon. And we also see a scene where, Sung Jin Woo kind of decides to test out, because they're not in an arena in the scene where when Cha comes in, they're like in a office room or something, and he decides to test out if his like exchange power will allow him to take other people, which we found out that it does. Which they've been highlighting that quite a bit, so I have a feeling that's going to become important later on. I mean, the cooldown for it is a long time, 3 hours. But the fact that he can take multiple, or more than just himself, that seems like it'll be pretty useful. And like I said, they've been emphasizing that ability quite a bit. Just showing like little scenes and his curiosity about it and him figuring out things. So I don't think they would do that if it's not gonna be important later. And then they go to the gymnasium where there's basically like a battle arena, and she brings out, like, of course, well, she doesn't have her sword, but they have her swords there at the arena, and then he brings out Igris instead of Biru, which we all know Biru is the strongest shadow he has, because it's the latest one he defeated. And so against Igris, in this chapter we have the fight between Cha and Igris, and like he gives Igris the sword he used against, or I guess it wasn't against Biru, but he used it after the raid to clear out the rest of the ants, the lightning sword. And then so Cha has no difficulty, she defeats Igris without any issues, and that just goes to show how strong she really is. I mean, the little fight scenes they have is pretty cool. Really, really good artwork and everything. And then basically that chapter just ends with, she's like, "Is that really your strongest summon?" But she knows that he has Biru. She reveals that she saw like the clips and everything and all that stuff for the footage from the raid that they took, and so she asked Sung Ji Woo to bring out Biru, and he does, and he's like, "Are you gonna be okay though?" Because he didn't want to bring her. He explains that he didn't want to bring him out because they just got a lot of people died and in the raid, and Biru was a very strong opponent, kind of traumatized everyone. But she wants to fight him, and then that's basically the end of the second chapter. In the third one, we have the fight with Cha against Biru, and we see that, of course, Sung Jin Woo doesn't want to hurt her, and he knows that Biru is stronger than her. Like, he knows, so he kind of puts limitations on Biru there to not hurt her and all that stuff. But she's kind of being stubborn about it. I mean, she can see the difference, but she still wants to try and fight it for some reason. She does end up getting some damage off on him with one of her, I guess, big abilities, I'm assuming, because she said she could only use it once, and she didn't have much mana left. And she damages Biru, which kind of triggers Biru's like instinct that she's an enemy, and he's about to kill her, but of course Sung Jin Woo stops him. And it's kind of funny, like how he begs for mercy, But yeah, I mean that just goes to show that Biru is just on a whole different league compared to his other Shadow Soldiers, and, yeah, and then we have after that again, Sung Jin Woo confronts Cha about like why is she trying so hard to join his guild, and he kind of takes a few guesses, and then when he says like, "Are you interested in me?" and then like she kind of like she's like yes, which, I mean, I really hope something I haven't liked too much about Solo Leveling so far is that we've had these different girls be interested in Sung Ji Woo. Like the beginning, it was like the healer girl, and then I know we've had like one or two other ones that haven't. I just can't. It's been a while since I read the other part of the series, but yeah, there's been like at least two or three girls that have been interested in Sung Ji Woo, and it's like they bring them in for a little bit, and then but Sung Ji Woo just seems to be getting so much stronger, and the girls kind of just they leave the story. I think the healer girl we haven't seen her in a while, and then the other two I don't even remember now. I don't think we've seen them at all anymore. The healer one did come and go here and there. Just I guess I mean she seems to be a little more important, but they haven't mentioned her in a while. So I'm kind of like, okay, is she gone now? So now they're bringing in this Cha, basically like another kind of person that's interested in Sung Ji Woo, romantically, anyways. I think. And I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't do the same thing. Like like Chalk, she seems like she's like the first girl that we actually see like be definitely more flustered, more that like her interest seems to be higher than the other girls so far. So I think that's pretty nice. But like I said, I'm hoping they don't just like bring her in and then brush her off in that sense. So yeah, because I mean, I do love romance in like these kind of series. I don't mind some romance as long as it's not like just they're just kind of baiting you. But yeah, like I said, we were seeing the whole scene where she says yes, she is interested, and then it's kind of like Sunji was like, huh, like. But yeah, I think that's how the chapter kind of wraps up right there at the end, and yeah, that's basically the third chapter. Then we got the newest chapter now. So I feel like the important things in this chapter, it's kind of funny. Like this is the newest chapter, but for some reason it's the one I least remember about. And I know the important things for sure. One of them was the discussion we have in this new chapter, because the chapter starts off and it's like this. It's they kind of disregard the whole. Well, not disregard, but it's like it kind of makes it feel like they disregard the whole scene with Cha saying yeah she's interested, because it starts off with something completely different. Like and. But one of the important things from this chapter is that we see a discussion between the people who came to give Sung Jin Woo his like little evaluation to try to get him to join their own guild. I believe it was like a U.S. guild or something, and the lady who saw into his like inner being or whatever, she explains that he is different than the other people she calls kings, like the national level hunters. Because apparently the national level hunters, they have like a bright light when she looks inside of them, and it's basically like them borrowing power from, I forgot what the word she used. I don't know if it was God or like some kind of supreme being or something like that. Those, the ones that are able to borrow that power from those beings, like they're the ones that have like amazing like strength. And those are the ones she calls kings. But the thing is, with her, she explains that when she looked inside of Sung Jin Woo, it was all darkness, which means that he's not borrowing his power from anyone. Like all of the power is coming from within himself. So that basically means to her that he has no limits. Like he's basically growing in power and he has no limits. While the other people who are nation level hunters, they draw power from someone else, but it looks like that power is what is it, like a set amount. So the nation level hunters, yes, they are strong, but they're not like, we've seen that Sung Jin Woo is like the only person that we've seen so far that is actually just increasing power. Everyone else is like set. Whatever rank they were classified as, we've seen that throughout the series, that is the rank they're gonna be for the rest of their lives. So it's only the people who have had a double awakening, like those are the ones that the only ones that I've seen that do not stay at their same rank forever, but those are very rare cases apparently in the series. And even with a double awakening, that's it. We've never seen more than a double awakening. So Sung Jin Woo is like she basically found out that Sung Jin Woo is like his power is increasing and it has no limits. So that was a pretty big take in this chapter, pretty interesting. And then like in the middle of the chapter we get back to the scene with Cha and like but she's already in her own place and Sung Jin Woo's already left and she's like all embarrassed, like what am I doing? Like why did I say that to him? Like she basically confessed her feelings and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's nice to see. They are putting more emphasis on this for sure, like on her interest and I guess romantic interest in Sung Jin Woo, which I think that's good news. We haven't seen like this much interest in from a girl in the whole series. I think so. I'm hoping she is the one that maybe finally gets Sung Jin Woo's attention or something, and we see a little bit. I don't want romance to be the main focus of the series, but I hope if there is gonna be romance, it gets fleshed out well, and it's not like it came out of nowhere, and it gets done properly. That's what I'm hoping for. That's something a lot of series have issues with, and I guess something I did forget to mention as well is that actually the scene where after the lady who looked into Sung Ji Woo talks to the head, I guess, of the, I'm assuming it's the guild. We see the head of the guild take one of the other assistants to a place where, because they talk about like a gate from a lot of years ago that had a monster that wiped out so many high level hunters, and we see like in their laboratory they have like the whole remains of that monster and a piece of that monster that's holds some sort of clue or something. We don't know yet. They didn't reveal too much, but we know that the U.S. government has this big monster for some reason that was from that gate from long ago, and I believe it's gonna have a connection with Sung Jin Woo because I mean they were just talking about him and they kind of go into this discussion. So I think that guy, the head of the guild, I mean he knows, of course he knows stuff that we don't know. So it's like he's hiding something, I feel. And I think it's gonna, of course, Sung Jin Woo's gonna get involved. And then now back to what I was saying about Cha. We see, yeah, like I said, she gets all flustered. But then something that's also very important in this chapter, the last thing, is basically at the end of the chapter. Cha has like not revelation. It's more like she remembers that. I guess. Well, we see. It looks like she's dreaming, and she's remembering something from when she almost died, and how the guy who Sung Jin Woo revived, he healed her. But apparently that guy gave her a message. Maybe it was while he was healing her, like he was trying to tell her something when he was healing her, that Sung Jin Woo needs to be careful with his power. And we've seen this already. Like we've seen instances or like clues that Sung Jin Woo's power, I guess, has risks, I guess. I believe that's probably right. It has risks, but I don't know if it makes you feel like, because in the previous when he revived Biru and when he revived the guy to heal Cha, it's like the summons didn't want to get revived, or they didn't want to work. He had to do it multiple times. And like, also when the lady looked inside of Sung Jin Woo, like the darkness stared back at her, and it's like. The fact that they're using darkness, and then of course necromancy seems like it's an evil thing, to be honest. That's something of power like you wouldn't really see protagonists have. That seems more of an antagonist power. So there's definitely is darkness surrounding his power, and of course, like I said, they've been hinting at it for a couple chapters now. So I am really curious to see what these risks are, or what's going to happen to Sung Jin Woo, because we know eventually something's going to happen. Like, there's going to be either repercussions for all this, bringing all these things back to life, or there's going to be some kind of nerf to his power at some point. I do feel like he is OP. But yeah, that's like the last big reveal, and of course it's like in a cliffhanger kind of thing. So they reveal that, and then it's like the chapter ends. So I am curious to see what's going to happen. I wonder if Cha is going to bring that up to Sung Jin Woo, how she had that vision. And maybe that's finally going to get Sung Jin Woo to start thinking about, like, okay, like, does this power have risks? because I feel like Shanji. I don't think anything has happened so far that really reveals to Sung Jin Woo that okay, this power is very dangerous. He's kind of just been using it, like getting stronger, getting more soldiers. Yeah, but it's like I said, we've been hinted that there is gonna be some kind of there are gonna be some negative maybe side effects or drawbacks or risks associated with this power. So curious to see what that's gonna be about. I don't think it'll get revealed next chapter, but I'm just hoping it doesn't take too long to get revealed. But I think that's gonna cut it for today, guys. I think this was a pretty good discussion over the last 4 chapters that we've had of Solo Leveling this new season. I'm hoping. I've heard there's been talk about or confirmed for an anime of Solo Leveling. I'm not sure if that's true or not. That'd be pretty cool if there is, though. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna cut it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. I wonder how long this is, but hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Solo Leveling. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this like chapter by chapter. It might just be a little easier if I do it like over maybe like 2 or 3 probably 3 chapters. Every 3 chapters I probably release a review, like a discussion over those 3 chapters, give you all my thoughts and then what I think is gonna happen. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for more content and anime and manga content. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. Peace out.